Welcome back to I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I could take my time perfecting my magical ability. Anime review episode number 19. Yep. So, we're here discussing the 19th episode of the series, The Great Advent Festival. Which is also, after with the completion of this episode, we have roughly 5 more to go. For the whole season. Like, really? 5? Yep, 5 more left. Which I find that quite cool. So, in this episode, we have the Pope and his 12 bishops show up. And despite the fact, okay, they're telling them they're going to split into groups. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, they had a reaction of being shocked. Apparently they didn't know anything about this. Oh, that's because Bishop Angela proceeded to send a letter. How the Pope basically received it. So, and then we see Lloyd's father in the episode, who was also Prince Albert's father. Which one of their old friends. They do go into flashback in the episode of how this man became the Pope, where he just 2 guys go to his house. So, oh, we want you to be new Pope. I guess he agreed. And he goes to a ritual to see if he's a good person. He's accepted. And new Pope. A very interesting procedure. Because normally, when I think of the Pope, I think of the Catholic Pope. Now, this has been depicted in the movie Angels and Demons. Which is, I think to date, it's the only movie to ever depict the actual voting process that the real life cardinals vote on in real life whenever they have to vote for a new pope. Basically, they just lock a room up for a period of days, they cast a vote, and pick who they want the pope, and then they light inside the actual chimney. I think if it's black, it means they have decided yet. If it's white, they have decided, and poof, new pope. Simple as that. Here, it's just involving magic, and of course, basically, the angel proceed to basically, do it. And then, of course, it's revealed that this pope is actually the evil pastor who basically harmed Babylon. Which, of course, by the way, they have basically where Sophie, where she's with Bishop Angela, who proceed to have her change clothes and also take off her sword. Which I find that to be interesting. Of course, all separated, of course. And then we have where the king and the pope apparently are old friends. Now, apparently we do see where the king reacts to the depiction of the evil pastor, which he thinks that might be the pope's son. Then stuff happens. Then all of a sudden a frickin' giant monster shows up. Yes, a monster that was sent by the pope. Because the pope is evil in the show. Yep. So, in order to people in this church, basically Lloyd has the angel teleport everybody, including his father and brother, to a completely different location. What location is that? Why? One of the country's palaces. And of course, basically, the king tells him, "Alert the royal soldiers. We have to protect the people." And of course, the prince, Albert and the other prince proceed to do that. No problem. And of course, there's also talk before this. Basically, the king where he seems like he spoils he spoils basically one of his daughters. Yes. Though, by the way, the other by the way, this actually is only 2 daughters he's no worthy for having, because they say he's the Lloyd's the 7th prince. We'll get back to that. So then, of course, we have the Pope, where he actually is the evil pastor. He goes to his chimera form and basically nearly tries to kill the king and the 2nd prince. But look at basically Lloyd teleports him all the way. And then, of course, the pastor, by the way, the angel goes, "Oh, I escaped paradise thanks to him." And then, of course, him and Grimm proceed to deal with the demon outside, while Lloyd deals with the evil pastor. And it's like, "What are you?" He's like, "I'm the 7th prince." And it's like, "Oh, this is easy." And He's like, what? Oh my gosh, his mana level's huge. Yep. And of course, man's bloody. And then they go outside. By the way, the whole time, basically, it's raining. And then all of a sudden, the ground opens up on a street nearby. And then monsters are pouring out. Looks like Chimera monsters. And we're getting up to the very end of the season. Yep, getting to the very end. And overall, really enjoyable episode. And like I said, we have only 5 more to go. And then we're done with this season. Yep, so yeah, this took the episode of you. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up is New Saga. Okay, next you. Bye.